5 habits are what allowed me to make my first $1 million by 25 years old. And now I just turned 27 a couple months ago, and I'm on track to make $8 million by the time I turn 28 years old. We're gonna get straight into it. Please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. The first habit that helped me make my first $1 million at 25 years old is squandering negative thoughts as soon as they popped up. So we all have negative thoughts, but the people who stay confident and calm are not the people who never have negative thoughts. They're just the people who have learned to shut them down real quick. And by real quick, I mean before they allowed those thoughts to take control. So that's what we're talking about in this very first habit. And it's a thing that is easier said than done. So I really want to get into how to do this, not just stop doing it. So I want you guys to start thinking of a negative thought kind of like a spark. If you catch that spark early, it's harmless. But if you let that one negative thought spark and you start feeding it more and more thoughts, it turns into a whole fire that ends up burning up your energy, your focus, and your confidence. And the really bad thing about negative thoughts that I think is worse than any other aspect of it is a lot of us have subconscious negative thoughts. Like we don't even really know it's happening. We start by thinking something small like, I'm not doing enough. And then our brain starts finding evidence as to why that's true. And then it starts piling up evidence to support that claim. But at the end of the day, you can't control every thought that pops into your head. But you can control which ones you give your energy to. So when that thought pops up, stop it. Like literally say out loud, nope, not today. Actually, whenever this happens to me and a negative thought pops into my head, I will say 3 positive thoughts out loud that contradict that negative thought. Like I absolutely just get it out of my head, cancel it out, and replace it with positive thoughts. That small amount of awareness breaks that cycle. In order to control the negative thoughts that you're having, you have to become really good at being self-aware and monitoring those thoughts so that you can do something about them when they pop up. Because if you're not aware that they're happening in the first place, you're not gonna be able to do anything to stop them. You doing that tells that thought, I see you, but you don't get to stay. Give yourself a lot of grace when you're doing this. You say, I'm still learning, but I will figure it out. If it says they don't like me, you say, I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to grow. If you think, I don't know if this is gonna work, think, what if it does? Why not me? You start training your mind to see possibility instead of problems. And once you stop feeding these thoughts, your whole energy starts to change. You stop overthinking so much. You stop second guessing yourself all the time. You start walking around lighter and more at peace, more confident. So the next time a negative thought shows up, don't argue with it. Don't try to analyze it. Just shut it down. Replace it. Your peace is too valuable to waste it on thoughts that don't serve you. The second habit was I stopped telling small-minded people my plans and my goals. You ever get really excited about something? You're excited to share it. Maybe it's a new idea, a new goal, a new plan you've been working on. And then you go and you share it with someone and then they shut it down. They'll say things like, are you sure that's realistic? That sounds risky. Or the classic, I don't think that's gonna work. You've been there and I've been there. I've been there more times than I care to admit. And I learned something very important, and that is that not everyone deserves to hear your plans. Small minds can't see big visions. For the longest time, I used to share everything that I wanted to do. I thought if I tell people, maybe they'll motivate me, maybe they'll give me advice. But more times than not, all I got back was doubt. Very frustrating and very discouraging. People were projecting their own fears on me. People who never built anything, trying to tell me what's possible and what's not. And finally, after several times of this happening, here's what I realized. They weren't really trying to hurt me. They just couldn't ultimately see what it was I was seeing. They didn't have the vision, they didn't have the belief, and they sure as heck didn't have the same hunger that I had. You can't expect someone with a limited mindset to understand unlimited potential. Somebody write that down. All right, that's a fire quote. So I stopped talking about my plans, stopped explaining myself, and I stopped trying to convince people to believe in me. And still to this day, I move in silence, and I have never been more at peace. Because when you stop sharing your dreams with small-minded people, stop inviting unnecessary opinions, stop second-guessing yourself, and you stop letting other people's fears impact your faith. Instead, you just do the work quietly, consistently, and when the results show, they will speak louder than any announcement you could have said ever would. So guys, keep your goals sacred. Protect your plans. Share with people who get it, with people who understand and have big thoughts and big goals and aspirations like yourself. And just a side note before I move into the next habit, find a tribe of like-minded people, okay? Find a community that you can belong to where you can share those goals and not have stones thrown at you, right? Find other like-minded people and build off of each other. Moving right into number 3, and that is giving back. And hear me out on this. I know it may sound cliche, but I hear it all the time. So many people are like, man, I wish I had $1 million. I would do this, I would give back. Or I can't wait for when I'm rich, because when I get rich, I'm gonna give back. I'm gonna do nice things for others. To that I say, do what you can with what you have now. When I only had $200 in my bank account, I didn't have to, go out there and buy someone a new car or pay for someone's dinner at a nice steakhouse. I did a little bit with what I could. So with $200, some things that I would normally do is if I was through a drive-thru, I may pay for the person's meal behind me. I may donate money to a nonprofit organization that really hit home with me. And I would also volunteer and give back with my time. It doesn't always have to be giving back with monetary things. You can give back with your time as well and still make a difference and still make an impact. If you're not giving right now with the little that you have, you're probably not going to give later when you have a lot. You don't need $1 million to make a difference. You just need to care. So what can you do this week to start giving back? Can you buy someone a coffee? Can you help a family member with something? Can you be a mentor for someone for free? Every act of kindness adds up. And the crazy thing is it always comes back to you. Giving, and this sounds crazy, but giving truly does open the floodgates for you to receive. It really does. I'm living testament to that. And so the more I started giving, the more that I started to realize it's really not even about what you give. It's really about who you become when you give. It softens you, it humbles you, and it really puts it into perspective of what matters and what doesn't. Like, let's help each other out while we're here. We're here for such a short period of time. Let's do what we can to make everyone around us life easier. When you start giving with what you have now, you automatically attract more. You're signaling that I have enough to share. And that mindset equals abundance. So I went from buying people's lunches at McDonald's for 10, 15 bucks to one of the things that I like to do now is I like to pay people's utility bills. So I will pull up to the utility board with several hundred worth of dollars, and I may pay 3 or 4 people's utility bills. Sometimes I may pay one person's utility bill who's several months behind, and they're almost to the point where they're about to get cut off. But paying people's utility bills wasn't something I could always do. I've worked my way up to that. But buying that person's McDonald's or that person's Starbucks behind them in the drive-thru felt just as good as going in and paying these people's utility bills. Number 4, embody being a millionaire. Have you ever noticed that some people just move different? They're not rich yet, they're not famous, they're not even there yet, but something about them feels like they've already made it. I think the kids these days are calling it aura. That's not luck, that's not pretending, that is called embodiment, and that is exactly what I did. I walked like a millionaire, I talked like a millionaire, I tried to dress like a millionaire would. I went into a place, I wouldn't check the prices. I wouldn't see what, if the Starbucks coffee was gonna cost me $6. I didn't care, because if I was a millionaire and I'm thinking from a millionaire mindset, prices would not matter. Now at the time, when I only had a few $100s, it very much did matter, but it's kind of a fake it till you make it type thing. You've gotta be delusional to make your first $1 million. And I don't mean to go buy designer clothes and flex them on Instagram. That's surface level. I'm talking about your energy, your habits, and your mindset. A millionaire version of you maybe wakes up earlier. They move with intention. They plan their day. They take care of their body. They think long term. They are not reacting to life, they're creating it. So how can you start being that version of you now, before your bank account ever catches up? Because as soon as you start acting as if that version of you right now that's already a millionaire, everything around you will start to shift. You stop making decisions from lack. You stop waiting around for motivation. And the thing that changed everything for me was when I stopped chasing the millionaire lifestyle and I started embodying it and living it before it was actually a reality for me. Very powerful stuff here, guys. And last but not least, number 5 is stop putting things off. We all do it. We say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start next week. When things finally calm down, I'll do it. But here's the thing, later is a lie. Because that perfect time that you're waiting for never really shows up. You don't wake up one day magically motivated. You've got to get to a point where you're either doing it or you're not going to do it. And this is a big pattern that I got stuck in, kind of like my late teens, maybe when I was like 20, is I just always was consuming information. I was reading books. I was listening to audiobooks. I was watching videos on YouTube of millionaires and billionaires and taking notes. I have a whole notebook full of notes from where I was just learning and rewiring my mindset. But then it hit me one day and I was like, man, several years have gone by and I've been consuming and consuming and consuming, but I have nothing to show for it. I've not done anything with the information that I've been gathering. And deep down, I wasn't really waiting for the right time. I was waiting to stop feeling uncomfortable. And unfortunately, that day never came. You are never going to feel comfortable or ready, but you have to start anyways. Action creates clarity, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel confident. You build confidence by doing the things that you're putting off. And once you start, that momentum kicks in. And momentum is very powerful. I heard someone say one time that momentum is the most powerful currency in the world. Tony Robbins says that massive action is a cure-all. It's a cure-all for feeling unproductive. It's a cure-all for feeling not confident. It's a cure-all for procrastinating. You start stacking those I didn't feel like it, but I did it anyway moments, that procrastination quickly loses its grip on you. So guys, just start. Messy, uncertain, scared, do it anyways. The people who are 1 or 2 steps ahead of you right now are the people who actually started, who actually took action on what they're learning. So I hope these habits really hit home for you guys. I did not just acquire these habits overnight. It came from me doing them again and again and again. And you guys know I love books. So one book that I want to recommend and leave you guys with is Atomic Habits by James Clear. That's a very good book for figuring out that, your inputs equal your outputs. So figuring out what those inputs are that are leading to the outputs you currently have and tweaking them, changing them, becoming better. So highly recommend you read that book. If you got value from this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below what your number 1 habit is that you're looking forward to fixing. And I will see you guys in the next one.